let's get into this NBA topic and let's talk about these big time trades in the NBA over the last few days. So many big time trades in the NBA. The Dallas Mavericks earlier in the week traded for Kyrie Irving. The Lakers, they traded Russell Westbrook to the Utah Jazz. They brought in D'Angelo Russell, Vanderbilt, and another player that was part of the Lakers in this deal as well. Vanderbilt, D'Angelo Russell, and Malik Beasley. And then the Clippers, they added Eric Gordon. The Blazers traded away Josh Hart to the Knicks. So many big time trades in the NBA. It's too many to remember. But I want to talk about the main trades that were made with the Lakers, the Suns, and the Mavericks. So the first big trade that took place was the Dallas Mavericks trading for Kyrie Irving. Here is the deal. The Dallas Mavericks, they received Kyrie Irving and Markieff Morris from the Brooklyn Nets. And the Brooklyn Nets received Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, and a 2029 unprotected first-round pick and 2 second-round picks in 2027 and 2029. So when I look at the Dallas Mavericks and their trade for Kyrie Irving, I believe that offensively, the Dallas Mavericks will be significantly better with Kyrie Irving than what they were before they acquired Kyrie Irving. And one of the main reasons why the Dallas Mavericks wanted to trade for Kyrie Irving was because of their inability to still score the basketball when Luka sat on the bench. Remember in the offseason, they weren't able to come to an agreement with previous point guard Jalen Brunson when he was in Dallas. And so all season long, they have struggled when Luka Doncic has went to the bench. So this is the Dallas Mavericks this year. They're 0-7 without Luka Doncic. That was prior to their win Wednesday night against the Clippers. That was Kyrie Irving's first game, obviously. And this year, with Luka Doncic on the court, the Dallas Mavericks offensive rating is 118.7. With Luka off the court, their offensive rating drops to 106.8. With Luka, it's 118.7. Without Luka, it's 106.8. So, with the acquisition of Kyrie Irving, if Luka goes to the bench, Jason Kidd and his offense will still play at a high level, and they will still be able to score points. And I think offensively, they got Kyrie Irving now. You still got Luka Doncic. You got Tim Hardaway as well. On the interior, they got Christian Wood as well. So offensively, the Dallas Mavericks have zero weaknesses. They're going to be able to score the ball at an elite level with Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic now in their backcourt. And picking up a guard like Kyrie Irving, who I believe is the most skilled guard in NBA history, I think it's going to help the Dallas Mavericks offensively. This year, Kyrie Irving, he's averaging 27 points per game on 49% shooting from the floor. And Kyrie Irving is one of the more clutch players we have in the NBA. And he's a closer. The same way I view Damian Lillard and how he's a closer, I think Kyrie Irving is a closer as well. Just go ask Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors how Kyrie Irving is a closer, because I remember in the 2016 NBA Finals, as great as LeBron was, and LeBron was the best player on the floor in that series on both ends of the floor, as great as LeBron was, Kyrie Irving was the closer for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Game 7, ball in his hands on the right wing, drains a pull-up 3 over Steph Curry. Kyrie Irving is one of the more clutch players in NBA history, and you team him up with Luka Doncic, I think offensively, the Dallas Mavericks are going to be unstoppable. Unstoppable. Good luck trying to stop Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. So I like that dynamic duo from an offensive standpoint. Now, defensively, I believe that the Dallas Mavericks losing a perimeter defender like Dorian Finney-Smith, I think it's going to hurt the Dallas Mavericks defensively. And when you're in a Western Conference and you're going up against the likes of Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, John Morant, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker, you have to be able to get key stops at key moments in games. And that's where the Dallas Mavericks are going to struggle as a basketball team. Even prior to trading for Kyrie Irving, they already struggled defensively. They've never been a great defensive team. They scored the basketball at a high level. And now that you have Kyrie Irving on your team, that's not going to help your team defensively. It helps your team significantly offensively, but not defensively. But the other thing that the Mavericks have going for them is when you have two great scorers like Luka, like Kyrie, it also helps your defense because opposing teams, when they play against the Dallas Mavericks, you know you have to be able to score points to keep pace with the Dallas Mavericks. So you know you can't have an off night shooting the basketball because you know Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving are more than capable at being able to drop 30 points apiece and beat your basketball team. So I think because of how great Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic is from an offensive standpoint, it also will help their defense. And I'm looking forward to seeing this dynamic duo in Dallas. And Kyrie Irving is going to help Luka Doncic significantly offensively because we look at this was entering Sunday before the trade for Kyrie. This was 30-point games this season. Kyrie Irving has had 15 30-point games this season. Teammates of Luka Doncic had 6. So before they traded for Kyrie, players not named Luka on the Dallas Mavericks only had 6 games where they scored 30 points. Kyrie Irving has 15 30-point games this season. So Kyrie Irving is going to instantly be offense for the Dallas Mavericks. And again, I believe that the Dallas Mavericks are a better team today with Kyrie Irving compared to what they were over the weekend without him. I think they're a better team, even though, again, defensively, they're going to definitely take a step back. But I love the fact that they have Jason Kidd in place to coach this basketball team. Jason Kidd is one of the greatest point guards in NBA history. And we know how great of a coach Jason Kidd is because he knows his basketball. He's forgotten more basketball than I know. And I think the dynamic with Luka and Kyrie is going to be just fine. One thing I will say, though, it's going to be an adjustment for Luka and Kyrie because they're now playing with a ball-dominant player. So I think it's going to be an easier an adjustment for Kyrie playing off ball compared to what it's going to be for Luka. Because Kyrie Irving played off ball in Cleveland alongside LeBron James. We know LeBron James is a very ball-dominant player. And Kyrie Irving was able to thrive in Cleveland alongside LeBron James. So I think he was not going to have much trouble being able to coexist alongside Luka. Because make no mistake about it, as great as Kyrie Irving is, this is Luka Doncic's basketball team. This is his team. But I'm interested to see how Luka adjusts to playing off ball when Kyrie Irving has the ball in his hands. That's going to be a major adjustment for Luka Doncic because Luka's used to having the ball in his hands 100% of the time. And now he's going to have to share the basketball with Kyrie Irving. But one thing about this Dallas Mavericks basketball team is I'm excited to see them in the postseason this year because in the playoffs, the game slows down. And you need superstars to take over to win basketball games in the playoffs. So you're going to need players who can create off the dribble. And Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic are two of the better players in the NBA who can create off the dribble. Like, you're going to need that. You got to have somebody who can break the defense down and get a bucket at key moments in games. But I think this trade for the Dallas Mavericks is going to definitely help them, and they're a better basketball team. Now, let's transition to the Phoenix Suns. A couple nights ago, I think this was Wednesday night, everyone on the West Coast and everyone woke up to the breaking news, and that's the Phoenix Suns trading for Kevin Durant. Like, crazy, unreal. So the Kevin Durant trade details is the Phoenix Suns, they received KD and TJ Warren. The Brooklyn Nets, they received Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, who was dealt to the Milwaukee Bucks shortly after this trade. And the Nets received 4 first-round picks in 2023, 2025, 2027, and 2029. So my initial thoughts about this trade, I want to start off with the Brooklyn Nets first. How in the hell do the Brooklyn Nets trade for Kevin Durant and not get back Devin Booker or DeAndre Ayton? Can someone tell me how the hell the Phoenix Suns were able to keep Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton on their team and team up Kevin Durant with Chris Paul in Phoenix? How do they keep Ayton and Booker? Like, if I'm the Phoenix Suns, there's no way in hell I'm giving up Devin Booker, because Devin Booker is younger than Kevin Durant is, and he's going to be playing at a higher level longer than KD is going to be playing at. KD has a good 5 years left playing at a high level. Devin Booker has maybe 15. So, like, I'm not giving up Devin Booker if I'm the Phoenix Suns, but if I'm the Brooklyn Nets, I damn sure got to get back DeAndre Ayton. If I'm the general manager for the Brooklyn Nets, Sean Marks, I'm telling the Phoenix Suns there's no deal unless I get DeAndre Ayton back. I believe that the Phoenix Suns literally robbed the Brooklyn Nets like a thief in the middle of the night, being able to acquire Kevin Durant and not have to give up Devin Booker or DeAndre Ayton. Seriously, I don't understand what the hell the Brooklyn Nets organization are doing. I don't understand what they're doing for the life of me. Like, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, they're great role players, but you can't build a franchise around Mikal Bridges or Cam Johnson. So I don't understand what the hell the Brooklyn Nets are doing as an organization, and I thought it was a mistake to even trade Kevin Durant in the first place. Kevin Durant is one of the best players in the NBA. He's a top 5 player in the NBA. There's no way in hell I'm giving up Kevin Durant. I'm going to build around Kevin Durant for future seasons to come. I don't give a damn how mad Kevin Durant is. He can go and pout and be mad all he wants to be. If he wants to go on Twitter and be mad, I don't give a damn. I'm not trading away Kevin Durant. Even if Kyrie Irving leaves, I ain't trading away KD. It's not happening. Because all these draft picks that the Brooklyn Nets have acquired in these trades, they are trying to draft a player the caliber of a Kevin Durant. This is a once-in-a-generation player. Ain't no way in hell I'm giving up Kevin Durant. And then I'm not getting back Devin Booker or DeAndre Ayton. Makes zero sense to me. Now, when it comes to the Phoenix Suns, this trade makes the Phoenix Suns now the favorites in the Western Conference. Seriously. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and DeAndre Ayton. I believe now this Phoenix Suns basketball team, also being coached by Monty Williams, I believe they are the favorites in the Western Conference. Yes, I believe with KD, with Chris Paul, a point guard god, and you got Devin Booker, who's a tremendous scorer, one of the best young NBA players that we have in the NBA, already has a finals appearance on his resume. You team him up with a Kevin Durant, I believe now that the Phoenix Suns are the favorites in the Western Conference. Now, I do believe that they're going to have to improve on their depth because they did give up Michael Bridges. They did give up Cam Johnson. And I love Bridges and Cam Johnson. Bridges is a 3D type of player. He can score the basketball, can play some good defense as well. Cam Johnson can shoot perimeter shots, can defend as well. But I think the Phoenix Suns are going to have to prove on their depth because their starting five is legit. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, TJ Warren, and DeAndre Ayton. That's a great starting five. But off the bench, you got Torrey Craig, you got Damian Lee. Okay, you still got Cameron Payne. So they're going to have to improve on their depth. But their starting five is arguably the best starting five in the NBA. And you add one of the greatest scorers in NBA history in Kevin Durant, it's only going to make your team better. And you look at what the Suns been able to do this year overall as a basketball team. They average 113 points per game. That's ranked 21st in the NBA. That will improve with Kevin Durant. They average 44 rebounds per game. That's ranked 11th in the NBA. With a player like Kevin Durant, with his size, that will improve as well. As a team, they're shooting 46% from the field. That's ranked 22nd in the NBA. That will improve with KD. And they're shooting 38% from three-point range, which is ranked 5th in the NBA. That's going to improve with Kevin Durant on your basketball team. Kevin Durant this year, he's shooting 56% from the floor. 56%. That is a career high. So everywhere you look, statistically, on the floor, offensively, the Phoenix Suns improved adding Kevin Durant on their basketball team. You look at Kevin Durant for his career, he averaged 27 points per game with Oklahoma City. That's ranked first in team history. He goes to the Warriors. He averages 26 points per game. That's the second in team history. And then with the Brooklyn Nets, he averaged 29 points per game. That's the first in team history. Kevin Durant is one of the greatest scorers in NBA history. And the Phoenix Suns just got them a superstar that's going to help Chris Paul possibly get back to an NBA Finals and win his first championship. I thought 2 years ago when Giannis and the Bucks beat the Phoenix Suns, I thought that was going to be Chris Paul's last opportunity to win an NBA championship. And now the Phoenix Suns trading for Kevin Durant, Chris Paul's chances at being able to win his first NBA championship, something he definitely deserves, has improved. And the Phoenix Suns title odds is now second in the NBA, only behind the Boston Celtics. The Celtics are a plus 350 to win the NBA title, and the Phoenix Suns now are plus 500. So this trade was a home run by the Phoenix Suns. Now, I want to talk about, before I go to my next segment, the failure in Brooklyn. At one point, there was a trio in Brooklyn: Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant. I believe that trio is the worst trio in NBA history, and they definitely underachieved. I mean, when they teamed up Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and James Harden, to me, from an offensive standpoint, those are three of the greatest scorers in NBA history. And I was thinking, how the hell are you going to stop the Brooklyn Nets? It's impossible. You're not going to be able to stop the Brooklyn Nets. And the big three in Brooklyn, they played 16 games together. They went 13-3. That includes the playoffs. They won that one playoff series against the Boston Celtics. That's it. It is a major disappointment when it comes to this trio when they signed up to play together in Brooklyn. Major disappointment. And when it comes to Kyrie Irving, I love Kyrie Irving. Again, when Kyrie Irving plays, he's one of the best players in the NBA. But the problem for Kyrie Irving is whether or not he's going to show up. That's the only question we have about Kyrie Irving as a basketball player, if he's going to show up. And we know best ability is availability. But, I mean, the trio between Harden, Irving, and Durant, it was a failure in Brooklyn. And Kendrick Perkins, he said it best. He tweeted, looking back, KD, Harden, and Kyrie is the biggest letdown in NBA history. It will be a ESPN 30 for 30 short. I agree 100%. But honestly, I give James Harden credit because he departed Brooklyn for Phoenix. I'm sorry, departed Brooklyn for Philadelphia and teamed up with Joel Embiid in Philadelphia. And the Sixers are contenders in the Eastern Conference. But KD and Kyrie are the real disappointments in Brooklyn. This was KD and Kyrie as teammates over 4 seasons with the Brooklyn Nets, including the playoffs. They played in 87 games together. They went 53-34. They had 2 playoff appearances. They won 1 playoff series in 2 playoff appearances. They were 6-7 in the playoffs. And last year, they got swept by Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. It was a complete failure in Brooklyn with this Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving experiment. It's no other way to slice it. And I love KD. And I think, again, he's one of the greatest players in NBA history. But this was a failure here. This was a complete failure in Brooklyn. And the Brooklyn Nets, they wanted to clean house. They've cleaned house. And now moving forward, they're going to be a laughingstock of the NBA. They will be the laughingstock of the NBA because the New York Knicks are better than the Brooklyn Nets are. And they are the team in the state of New York. Now, the other trade that went down, it was the Lakers. The Lakers, they traded Russell Westbrook to Utah, and they got back D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt. The Jazz, they got Russell Westbrook in a deal, Damian Jones, Toscano Anderson, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. They traded for Mike Conley and Alexander Walker. So when it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers, I believe adding D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt, I believe it makes the Lakers better, but not significantly better. And I think that the Lakers now are playoff contenders, but not championship contenders. I think the Phoenix Suns are better than the Lakers. I believe that the Denver Nuggets are better than the Lakers. I believe the Los Angeles Clippers, adding a player the caliber of an Eric Gordon, who's going to be come off their bench, I think they're better than the Lakers as well. I think bringing in D'Angelo Russell and Beasley is going to help the Lakers from a shooting standpoint. And I think it's going to be more spacing on the floor now compared to what it was with Russell Westbrook and LeBron James on the court together. But I don't think that trade makes the Lakers the favorites in the Western Conference. And for the Lakers, they compete for championships, not Western Conference finals appearances, not making the playoffs. The Lakers compete for NBA championships. They got the most championships in NBA history alongside the Boston Celtics. So them trading for D'Angelo Russell doesn't make them a championship contender, but they are a playoff contender. And I do believe that they could win a first-round playoff series. If they play against the Sacramento Kings, I would take LeBron James and Anthony Davis and D'Angelo Russell to upset the Sacramento Kings. And I love the job that Mike Brown is doing with the Sacramento Kings this year. I really, really do. De'Aaron Fox is playing some good basketball. Sabonis is playing some good basketball. And the Sacramento Kings are probably the most surprising team in the NBA this year. But I like the Lakers would probably beat the Kings in a first-round playoff series. If they go up against the Memphis Grizzlies and Ja Morant, I think it'll go 7 games. But I'm not sure the Lakers would beat the Memphis Grizzlies. Maybe, maybe not. Memphis been struggling lately. But if they played the Nuggets or the Clippers or the Suns in a first-round playoff series, I don't believe the Lakers would be able to beat those teams. I don't. But they're better. They're better, but not great. They picked up Mo Bamba from the Magic as well, traded away Thomas Bryant to the Nuggets. But the Lakers compete for championships, not just making the playoffs. Everybody go and follow Wise Guys on Twitter at WiseGuys_H. Also on Facebook, Wise Guys. Be sure to follow Wise Guys at Instagram at These Guys Know Sports. Coming out the break, I'm going to preview Super Bowl 57 between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be right back.